Hi, I'm Mark Mancini with VRBO Outstanding and Vacation Home Mastery. This week's episode is going to bring you a lot of money. It's going to be on drip marketing and cart abandonment, so stay tuned. And welcome back. Again, I've been a little bit out of doing videos on a regular basis only because I've got a big project I'm coming out with. I can't tell you yet, but when I do, it's gonna be huge. Okay, still driving around my Cybertruck. Sorry about those videos I'm in there, but you may not like the Cybertruck or be entertained with it, but I use the same YouTube channel for that, so please be kind with that. But we're going back to making more vacation home rental videos, and this one is literally gonna start putting money into your pocket right if you finish this episode and start working on it, okay? Now, this is gonna be based on my several year experience with OwnerRez and the use of it, also based on my Vacation Home Mastery course, which we have 3 more months left with before the price goes up from $197 to $297. It's guaranteed to increase your bookings, whether it be on a platform or direct, or your money back, guaranteed, okay? Come see what hundreds of other people are experiencing by using this. Now, we're gonna give you a whole lot of that stuff right here in this episode, but not everything. We're gonna get close, okay? But we need to put you over that line with everything else. Now, first and foremost, you have to have a PMS like OwnerRez. Now, I can't speak for the other ones, but I do know that OwnerRez is the biggest PMS out there out of any other company. They have more users by far than anyone else. They also have more features that you need, and we've gone over that in all the videos, right? I did a video on a PMS system, but one of the most important things in this episode on OwnerRez and a PMS like that is that it's going to be built in with a CRM or contact relationship manager, where you can manage all of your guests, all of your inquiries, not only from direct bookings, okay, but also from your platform bookings as well. I get all the detailed information from every single one of my Airbnb guests, every single one of my VRBO guests. So guess what? I can reach out to them. Now, technically you're not supposed to market to them. They have to catch me first, okay? But as you know, we've talked about in our business card mini course video, that 1-minute video I put out, we leave business cards in our home for all of our guests to book direct, okay? So we're just gonna go ahead and drip market our guests, but we're gonna talk about that. But first, you can't drip market if you don't have a PMS that has a CRM like OwnerRez, okay? That CRM has all your contact information, and the great thing is, it's for all your properties. Okay, so whether it was my first home in South Carolina or my homes now in the Keys, my wife and I have, it's going to be something that I can use all those names and drip market to every single one of them. Okay, now if you're not spending $40 a month to use this, you're being penny wise and pound foolish. You really don't know what you don't know. Okay. If you're not using this, it's costing you money because you're not getting bookings. I'm telling you, if you incorporate this, you will see bookings. So $40 a month per home is, math tells me, $480 a year. If you get 1 booking a year from using this, was it worth it? I would assume that your bookings are more than $480, right? So yes, the answer is yes. So right now, just click on the link below and just go to OwnerRez and sign up, and then you'll thank me later. So I have a lot of notes because this is going to be probably a little more of a detailed of a video, and it's also going to be a very informative one, so it's going to be a little bit long, all right? But there's a lot I need to go over because I'm going to share with you a lot of secrets that most people won't tell you. All right, first and foremost, you need a strategy for both drip marketing and for cart abandonment. Now, you can Google search and get information on both of these things, okay? Now with drip marketing, you don't want to do it too often and turn them off and have them unsubscribe, right? You don't want to drip market them weekly for a vacation because who really needs an alert every week to remind them to take a vacation? But you also don't want to send that drip email once a year, right? You need to find some kind of happy medium. But maybe every several weeks, right? Maybe every 7 weeks you send a drip marketing piece out. Now, you just have to get your strategy straightened out. And now with cart abandonment, that's when they start the checkout. In other words, they start to book your home, but for some reason they never complete it, okay? You also need to have a strategy for that. What I like is a 3 strikes and you're out type of thing, okay? Where you reach out to them 3 times. Maybe on the last one, you extend a 5% discount as a Hail Mary to try to get them to book, okay? So that's something that you can also do as well. Now, with both of those, you're going to be sending them emails, and you're not going to be just text emails. You're going to have some pictures in there, make it look aesthetically pleasing. But those words, you don't use a whole lot of words, but those words need to be important. You need to mean what you say and say what you mean, right? Just like Reagan would say. So that's where you want to hire a wordsmith. Now, there's a website called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. We can hire people who do this, okay? I'm sure you can go online and get examples. You can go to ChatGPT and have them generate you one. But again, you can hire a wordsmith because you're going to want to have a different set of verbiage for every single email, also some different pictures for every email. Okay, so first we're going to talk about is the cart abandonment, because with that, you want to have 3 different ways you're pressing their buttons to get them to commit, okay? Also with cart abandonment, you're going to have 1 call to action versus the drip marketing, you're going to have 2 calls to action. We'll explain what that is. A CTA, or call to action, is an action step, okay? A book now, check availability, you know, see the new features of the home, okay? It gets them to click on it and take action. Preferably below, it's to book or inquire, okay? Now, with the call to action on the cart abandonment, it's going to be one thing and one thing only. Get them to book. They've already gone through, put their information in, that they've already completed the CRM. You've got their information. You also know what dates they want to book. They also probably have the price. They already know what it is. So maybe it's just they have to rethink it, or they're waiting for someone to confirm, or it may be price, okay? Here's an example. Think about other things you purchased online, okay? And it doesn't happen with every single website, but the good ones, okay? If you start a checkout but then you change your mind, what do? They email you. Hey, you left items in your cart. Did you want to check on these, or is there something you missed, etc. A lot of these companies do that because cart abandonment, it's a whole industry, okay? If you don't believe me, go ahead and Google search it. So use the right wordsmith and the right words and a call to action. You can get that inquiry that maybe slipped out of the wind and out of your hands to a booking, okay? Because they went that far, you don't want to lose that person, all right? So each one of those 3 contacts should be different verbiage, and since you have their phone number, one of the things you can do, and OwnerEs has the ability to SMS, not just email from there. Maybe you send them an SMS message about the cart abandonment. Hey, just checking to make sure that you wanted to book this vacation. Those dates are still available, but they won't be available for long. Click here to book, okay? Now, I say this because some people have email filters that maybe are a little overzealous, and those emails are going to their spam box. So you're emailing them, but it's going to their spam box. So at least if you send an SMS, you know it's going to be delivered, okay? So always try to think about that and make one of your contacts an SMS, as well as that last email offer them a 5% discount. Say, this is the last chance, these dates are closing up, we're going to extend a 5% discount to you right now. See if that works, okay? And then after the 3 strikes, they're out, that contact gets moved over to your drip marketing, because guess what? Every 7 weeks, when you go ahead and drip market to all of your customers that are created, whether through Airbnb, VRBO, or direct, okay, that they're getting drip marketed every 7 weeks. So maybe not this year's vacation, maybe next year's, or maybe later that year they take a second vacation. Maybe then they complete that cart abandonment and book your property, okay? So always make sure they work together with that. Also, the call to action, I want to make sure you're aware, it should be something that's very in your face. A red button, like a book now, is huge. I always like using red. Red gets people's attention. Red is a color that gets people's attention. That's why stop signs are red, okay? And if you look at every single fast food company, right? Look at their signs. Go down the street. I don't care if it's McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. What do all 3 of those have in common? Their signs have a lot of red in it. Taco Bell doesn't, okay? They're a little different, but the big 3 know what works. It's red, okay? And a lot of banks, guess what color a lot of banks use? blue and shades of blue, because blue is trust. That's why IBM is blue, Dell is blue. It used to be SunTrust and other banks, Bank of America, are red and blue, right? You want to have that blue for trust, okay? So these colors get to that point, and the book now, the red, to me, it's what you have to use. Don't use any other color. The next is I'm going to talk about is the drip marketing. I like every 7 weeks. They say about every 8 weeks, every 2 months is a good. You're not hitting them too much. I like 7 only because, well, it's lucky 7, right? So I cut it down 1 week just to see if it brings me any luck. Now, what you're going to use is a service like MailChimp or Constant Contact. I like MailChimp. There's an integration with OwnerRez through a third-party company that will take every time an entry is made, whether it be an inquiry, a booking, and that information goes straight over to MailChimp, and I have the list in MailChimp. Now, MailChimp is really cool because here's what you do. You've got your list, right? And MailChimp will guarantee delivery just like Constant Contact will. And it guarantees that it's not going to go in their spam box. It'll go there, and then if it gets bounced back, it takes them out so it doesn't keep sending to that person. It's also going to have the unsubscribe link there, which you need to have, otherwise you'll get in trouble. So never, ever, ever send these bulk emails out try to save money and not use MailChimp or Constant Contact and just use your Outlook client to do that. Never do that, okay? It's going to be a disaster. Your account's going to be flagged. Email you send out is not going to be delivered to the inbox. It'll go to your spam or junk folder. So don't cheap out on that, whatever you do, okay? Now, with the call to action for your drip marketing, you want to have 2 calls to action, okay? And you can use different colors. But you don't want to use a book now because you're drip marketing. If I could use a really bad analogy, that's like calling up a woman for a date and then asking to sleep with her on that first phone call. No, you don't want to do that. You want to date her. You want to get to know her. You want to take her on multiple dates. And then if something happens, it happens, okay? But you don't want to have a call to action as a book now on drip marketing. You're going way too far ahead of yourself. You want to get them into the mindset of why they're even going to choose you, okay? It's a process, okay? It's just like courting. You can't go to the finish line. You have to go through the whole race, okay? Sorry, it's a bad analogy. It's the best I got right now. But here's what you want to do. You want to say, hey, check out new pictures or pictures of our new amenities. We have kayaks and paddleboards, or we did something to our pool. We retiled it. Look at the new pictures of our pool, right? You're not asking to book. You're not even asking to check availability. You're asking to look at the pictures of what we added to the property. You're not asking for anything. You just want to show them. You just want to show the place off. That's all, okay? Brag a little bit. Maybe it's a hot tub or something else. The next call to action you want to have is going to be a little bit more of the next step. Hey, summer is approaching and people are starting to book. Check our availability in our calendar with this link, okay? Get them to go to your availability calendar to make sure that the week that they're looking to take off are available at your place, okay? So let's nip it right in the bud with that. So you can have a soft call to action, which is not really a call to action. It's really just a call to invite, right? And then you can have a call to action that's a little bit more of, hey, do we have availability for you, all right? So have both of those in each and every one of your emails. Again, every 7 weeks, different verbiage, different pictures. Always keep your logo in there. You want to have that branding in every single one of your emails, okay? But definitely use different pictures. You don't want to look like you're sending the same email every 7 weeks. People will unsubscribe very quickly, okay? Now, another good thing too is if you have multiple homes, especially multiple homes in the same area. So for instance, with OwnerRez, you can have the site that they have with them. You can either have one for each of your homes, or you can have one site that has all of your properties, or you can do both, okay? So the great thing is if you have more than one home and you're doing this email, check the booking for all of our homes. And maybe they're in different areas. Maybe they want to go to Pigeon Forge. They don't want to go to Myrtle Beach or the Keys. They want to go to maybe Chincoteague Island or Assateague Island or any place else like that. And you've got homes in each of those areas. So send them there, okay, and have them search through the areas to look at your homes because they know you're a 5-star VRB outstanding host. They want to book with you. Whether the home is the one they stayed at in the Keys and now they want to go to someplace else, they know they're going to get the same quality of service with that same VRB outstanding owner, okay? Now, You also want to make sure with these drip emails you're timing them properly. So for instance, many of you, especially in coastal towns, Thanksgiving and Christmas are busy weeks, they're booked. We booked every single Thanksgiving and Christmas in Myrtle Beach, and we charged extra. It was a big upcharge for that. And depending on the time of the year and when things fall, Christmas week could either be Christmas week / New Year's and it's a 10-day booking, or it could be Christmas week and a New Year's 4-day booking. You want to be careful not to have a 2-day booking for New Year's Eve and 3 kind of gets a little sketch. Okay, you want them to stay 4 days, because if they do stay 4 days, they're not going to have a party and then keep the place trashed. So you got to look every year. They fall on different days of the week and be able to see what works out best. But people book that. I know our Christmas or our Thanksgiving in Myrtle Beach, we're usually booked by July or August. So you want to make sure you time that properly, okay? And make sure you have the proper pricing in there. Make sure you don't open up your calendar a year ahead and don't increase the rates for those big weeks. Another week that's big, July 4th, especially in coastal towns. Oh my God, we were charged 25% more. We had one time, I forgot what happened, but someone had to cancel. I let them do it because it was 4th of July week. I knew it was going to rebook. I even bumped the price up, okay? And a month beforehand, I got it. They didn't blink because it was a month before July 4th. They were going to pay whatever it cost because it was July 4th and they waited till the last minute, and it's called a stupidity tax, okay? And stupidity taxes are great as long as you're on the giving side, not the receiving side of that tax. So, other things are what's in your area. We talked about, for instance, in the previous episode on property management and what questions to ask a property manager, things that are going on in your area, whether it's a country music fest, maybe in Florida and the Keys here especially, it's, now we don't call it mini lobster season, it's lobster mini season. There's a big difference, okay? Lobster mini season is when they open up lobster season when it's been closed for a couple months for 3 days, and people just go crazy to get all the lobsters they can, because it's, I think, 6 per person. So if you have 6 people on a boat, you can get 36 lobster tails and throw in your grill. It's great. But it's not mini lobster season because the lobsters aren't mini, all right? It's not mini lobsters, it's lobster mini season. Hopefully you get the difference in the verbiage there, okay? But a lot of people call it mini lobster season. It's not, we don't get mini lobsters, there's just size limit. But those weeks book, and we book those out 6 or 7 months ahead of time, and we charge a premium for those, okay? Know what's going on, and that week changes every single year. So I have to be up on that on the Florida DNR website and make sure that those weeks are upcharged so that someone's not going in for the same week, same price as the person the week before or after. They're paying a premium for getting those lobsters, okay? So anything that's going on in your area, you want to drip market to them. Hey, don't forget, we have this going on in the area. You have to sign up now because we've already gotten inquiries on it and the first booking gets it, all right? So always, always, always create that sense of urgency, and that's the one drip email. You're allowed to do a call to action that says book now. Okay, that's when you're going to ask them to seal the deal in that email, because it is urgent. There is 1 week that year. That's it. There's not 52 weeks that year. There's 1 week for lobster mini season. There's 1 week for 4th of July. There's 1 week for the country music fest. There's 1 week for whatever is going on, okay? So you always want to create the urgency and use the call to action. Red, book now, okay? Hopefully I beat that into you enough. Again, Constant Contact and MailChimp, just don't cheap out. Spend the money, because honestly, it's going to be the best thing you do. The thing about them I like is you can automate everything. As you know, I'm Mr. Automation, okay? I don't like sweating the small stuff. I want my PMS, I want my marketing to do everything on their own. So what I do is I build out my marketing for that year in January with automations. Every 7 weeks, I send an email out. And I can tell you this, in January, I'm already hitting up for lobster mini season. And then also July 4th is the next one. And then several weeks go by, we'll hit them for different things, but then July, August, we'll hit them in for Thanksgiving and Christmas, etc. So you time it all, you build them all in January. Now, I know it's not January, okay? Right now, you're probably watching this, it's September, okay? Start getting prepared, get your wordsmith, get your pictures, get everything crafted. This is not gonna be an overnight thing you do. You don't want to do this overnight and start smacking it out tomorrow because it's gonna look like crap. Spend your time with it, okay? But if you want, you can send one out right now for maybe for Christmas. It's a little too late probably for Thanksgiving, but for Christmas, try to work on that one and send that one out right now. And then start working on all the rest of your every 7-week emails and get a wordsmith and do that. Set it up, you can automate that. So what MailChimp and Constant Contact, I use MailChimp, are gonna do is when you set up these automations every 7 weeks, you're gonna use that template that you have with the different verbiage and different pictures for each of them, okay? And if new people come on board, they're added to that list automatically, so you don't have to do anything, okay? All you have to do is set it up at the beginning of the year of when you wanted to have it and what you wanted to say. Every person that's added from your PMS and CRM into MailChimp, it's going to be added and they're going to be sent those emails automatically. You do nothing. This is why you spend $40 a month. So you do nothing except collect checks and spend that money, okay? Now, the last thing I want to leave you on, that's probably the most important part of this, okay? You do not want to ever compete with yourself. Here's what I mean by that. I'm taking the glasses off for emphasis on this, okay? Not so subtle. The different platforms are charging a fee. Now, for instance, VRBO charges a percentage at checkout that the guest sees and that they pay, okay? So, round numbers. Let's just say your all-in price, taxes, everything, for a week stay is $5,000. Well, you book at VRBO and it might be, for instance, $5,500, okay? They're paying $500 more than booking direct with you, okay? You do not have to compete against yourself. Another example, Airbnb. Some of you, and hopefully not many of you, because we don't like this, many of you are gonna put the Airbnb fees into your price, okay? So that there's no extra fee at the end. Some of you will also split the price where Airbnb pays some and you contribute some out of your payout, okay? So at the end of the checkout, there's an Airbnb fee, but it's small, kind of like VRBO. I'm not a big fan of that either. What I prefer you do, okay, is at the very end is the big 13% Airbnb fee. I want people to see exactly what I charge and what Airbnb's got their hands in your pocket for, okay? I want them to see that 13%. Yes, it's more money and people are going to pay more. I don't care. I want them to see exactly how, look, I'm a capitalist as much as anyone else, but I do think they're being a little piggish with some of these rates. Airbnb is much like eBay, okay? And just to give you some background, I was on eBay. My first transaction was 1996, okay? That's how old I go back with eBay. They charge such a small percent because they don't need to charge a lot. All they are a middleman, just like a credit card company. You post stuff there to sell, people buy it. They take a small percentage. Airbnb is the same thing. Airbnb doesn't have inventory. Yeah, they market, but honestly, they also have a high overhead. They have staff that is, believe it or not, all their customer support is based out of outside the U.S. So just leave it at that. And so they're not spending money on customer service. They're spending money on marketing and salaries. Honestly, they can get away with charging a lower percent. I think they're a very fat company. They operate much the way Twitter used to operate. That's why when Elon fired 80% of the staff, and Twitter, which is now X, is so much better and does more things because it's so much leaner. It's not the fat that's here. I think Airbnb is the same way. They went public. They've got a lot of fat in there. That's why they charge that 13%. I want people to see that. Okay, because there's a secret I have in my course. I'm going to share it with you right here. The very first line in my descriptions, okay, on all my platforms, I put the name of the property. Okay, so for instance, Heart of Murata. My domain name is heartofmurata.com. There's no spaces in the URL. It's all one word. So in my listing, I put Heart of Murata, just like it would be without a .com, because you can't do that. Heart of Murata space. That's the only space there is. Heart of Murata is one word. Space is a 5-star stay located centrally in Isla Murata. If you have a person who's got some intelligence, and many do, not everyone's stupid. They go through there, they go to the cart and they see, wow, this is more money that I really want to spend. They go back to the listing, they see Heart of Murata. Guess what they do? They go to search, they put in Heart of Murata. They may just be smart to add the .com. They go to my direct book website, and what do they see? they see the price at the checkout, but doesn't have that 13% Airbnb fee. They got an instant 13% discount. Okay, so guess where they book? Okay, I didn't lose them to someone else because it was outside their budget. You know, they came and found me, and this is what I mean by don't compete against yourself. Your price for your direct booking should be the same as what the checkout is on Airbnb or VRBO, or up to 5% less, okay? There's no need to go much lower. You shouldn't be giving 10, 15% discounts on direct bookings, because that means if they go direct to Airbnb and VRBO, yes, they're gonna pay less, but you're getting a lot less. This is a direct booking. Your direct booking should be paying you more money than those platforms. They're already sold on you, especially if they're repeat guests. Some people I know, I've seen them in Facebook. They give repeat guests 10% discounts. Why the F are you doing that? I use certain products. When I rebuy the product, they don't give me 10% off. I like the product, I'm not gonna use it. That's the price I pay, I like it for what it does. I don't mind paying that price, and I use it. I'm a satisfied customer, okay? There's no need to give them more of a discount. They're satisfied. You really need to think about that. And that's why I took my glasses off and really press this in you. Look at your pricing. I want you to right now to VRBO and Airbnb, use an incognito browser, okay? And check out to see what your checkout fee is on both of them. Compare that to your direct book website and make adjustments. If you're using a PMS like OwnerRez, you can adjust percentages where your direct fee, your direct book fee, your price is going to be within those parameters because you're either adding a percentage to those platforms or removing it from there, okay? So there's ways to do this with the pricing with a PMS. Again, if you have a $5,000 a week booking and you give them 10% off, that's $500. You know what that $500 is? 1 year of OwnerRez. Are you kind of catching on here, okay? I know I beat this to death, but sometimes some of you I need to do that with, okay? Look, you've got a quality property. Value it. Be proud of that price. Never apologize for your price. I never tell someone, here's the price, oh, that's our budget. I don't say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That's our price if you want a 5-star stay. If you ever want to consider us or recommend us to someone else, we appreciate that. Never apologize, okay? Whew. Exhale big time off that one. All right, so I just had to do a WTF moment on this 10% off discounting for existing customers who are booking again, or giving them discounts below what you're getting paid, below what they're paying on Airbnb and VRBO. Why are you charging less than they would pay on the platform? Okay. Yes, you can go 5%, but they shouldn't be. You should not be discounting it more than 5%. There's no need for that. They're paying less. They want your home. Let them book it for that price. They'll do it. Trust me. Have that faith. All right. Now, before you go anywhere, you want to go ahead and go to vacationhomemastery.com. $197 guaranteed to get those bookings up. And what you're going to do is click like, subscribe, or comment, ask questions below, and let me help you increase your bookings. We're going to see you again next week.